Escape launch bay. Oh, hey, like King, hey Noah, welcome to the stream. Howdy. Just hanging out for a second while I add a random thumbnail. Don't mind the title of this one. Yeah, the music on this one. Oh, I gotta plug my phone real quick. Hang on. My apologies. Forgot to do that. Alright. Oh, almost set. Let's do this. So, the reason why
this is
it looked like...
of a man named Stanley.
Oh, wait.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Yeah, you're correct, Noah.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him
I've played this before I started my YouTube streaming content.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Yeah, that would change you.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Viking says, this game's plot always confused me. There's a lot that goes on, I don't blame you. Noah says, I want a staring parable inside a Princess collab. Can I duck back into here? Oh, I thought like the door would close.
All of his coworkers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I feel like I'm just gliding on the floor. Am I running? What's going on with me? Toggle auto walk. What? What's auto walk? What? Am I running or why am I going so fast? Oh. I guess that's how I should have done that. Okay. Noah says, I have Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe on my PS4 and I'm trying to figure out how to get the new content door. Oh! I forget how to do it. It's been a while since
he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It's been a while since I played this, to be honest. I know there's so many ways you can just break the game. Can I get on a chair and just jump out a window? How funny would that be? 'Cause I know you can shatter this game. A little bucket. Uh, can, can I actually climb on a chair by a window and just believe I can fly? Is there any way I could just bug myself up to it? Oh, oh, oh! I don't think I'm supposed to be up here. Oh, 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 oh! Oh. Well, spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. Oh.
At first, Stanley
Oh.
assumed he'd broken the map
Oh, wait.
until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Wait, what
He
gang?
then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Oh, that's what you were referencing. No, that's what you're referencing. Okay. Sick of this gag. No, this is kind of funny. No, I should be smart. Wait.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered
if you say no, he'll just go on a
manly.
different rant.
But the truth must be told, he was...
Okay, I gotta do that now. I gotta do that now. Speed running.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yep.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
All right, I'll do that now.
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if
This
you had
one.
selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Moses, by the way, if you wait long enough on the yes option, his guitar will break. Okay. Maybe we'll do that. We'll try to do that later. Spent spent too much time on Discord
All
light
of his
mode there.
co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
I love this one.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Well, how's everyone's day going? I know it's like 2 for you, fellas, I think.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant
Adventure
effort.
line music.
I want to see some
true.
hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Oh. Oh yeah, the door. Where's 417? I passed it. There it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Why is he so just... What's on the computer right there? Anyways. He really likes tapping on doors.
437.
This guy really likes tapping on doors.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416? What's that? Where's that? No, it says there once was a man named Stanley, who many considered very manly, but I forgot the lyrics. His brain long ceased to function. Oh. Where's 416? Am I blind? Um. He did say 416, right? Um,
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
416 is new content. Aww. Did new content break it then? I think it did. It did break it. It can't do it. Oh. Good grief. Like, I know there's something to do with the
All of his
buttons.
co-workers were gone.
That's why I
What could it
restarted.
mean?
I
Stanley
inputted a
decided to go
button,
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
and I
missed a
know
memo.
there's something about turning off all the computers and inputting. I haven't really done it myself, so I'm just gonna input all the things.
All of his
Purple,
co-workers
purple.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Could it
decided to go
mean?
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's all right. Okay, I don't know. I feel like the game might be breaking already. Why did the door close? Boss's office. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Going to the boss's office.
Yet there was not a single person here.
Tips for not getting fired.
Feeling a wave
Great.
of disbelief, Stanley
Hello,
decided
Blue
to go
Closet.
up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, there it is.
All of his
I think I hit
were
it.
gone. What could it mean?
Sorry.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh,
Perhaps
there
he
it
had
is.
simply missed a memo. No matter how...
I got it.
All of his co-workers
One
were
more
gone.
button.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Button!
memo.
Moses, is there a way to bring the bucket to the input ending? I don't know. Perhaps.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Sound
doors,
possible.
he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
I think we're
of
gonna do it
disbelief,
normally.
Stanley decided to go up to his
then
boss.
we can
Coming
try
to
it
a
later.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
I
to
think
his
the last
boss's
computer is
office.
in your office. Oh, snap. Okay, we'll check the boss's computer first. The boss doesn't have a
Stepping
computer.
into his manager...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, Stanley heaven. What is this? I've never been here. Why are there so many buttons? Well, my ADHD brain is loving this. Do they pop back up, or... No, they do pop back up. Next time I stream this game, I gotta say something like, how can I severely break this? Just how badly can I break this? Wait. Are they just saying buttons? They're just saying buttons! Notice this. I think there's an infinite jump glitch with this jump circle. I don't remember the steps now. Oh, okay. Sounds cool. Okay, it's enough. That's enough of puns. Gnosis, AFK. Okay.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If
What?
he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What? 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 What?
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Man,
and
I
here it
love the
was.
bucket.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
The
The bucket was
choose
wrong.
wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Oh, no.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nuh-uh.
Stanley was
Stanley was
so
so
bad
bad
at following
following
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? I don't think I've ever done this. I don't think.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually
I just saw it
chose
over there.
correctly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley.
Wait,
You're
what?
a real person.
What?
I can't believe I was so
Wait, hang
mistaken.
on.
This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices.
Hang
And to think
on.
I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making.
Hang
Or
on.
did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
What? How did he call me?
Choice.
Oh.
It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
That was a grasshopper.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read.
What?
Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Wait, what?
Welcome back.
What's up with the tractors?
Noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been.
I know, I'm
please.
I did not mean to call these things tractors. Forklifts. One of them is clipping into a wall. Okay. That was a fun video.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Hey,
imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
No,
unfortunately,
my platform.
It seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
He's fenced off everything. No, he didn't fence off boxes. Oh, wait a minute. Hi, Noah. Welcome back. The narrator's mad at me, and he acknowledged the player's existence. Oh boy. He's not giving me a choice but to proceed forward.
You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
But I am free?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. I kind of want to go back through the right. But it might have only been the 2013 version.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Okay, okay.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why?
Can I get up
For
here?
what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
No, wait, hang on.
I have to.
I'm still in here.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
Hey, man, you did this.
Funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Oh, language,
that
man.
Thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Ouch!
Oh, my story.
That hurts.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
What happened?
...behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
He's forcing me.
Follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, it says if you do the other way of this ending, the boss's office wouldn't be normal and you wouldn't be able to continue. Oh. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
He locked the broom closet. He knows.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. He child locked the game. He actually child locked the game. That's crazy. Oh. That's not normal.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I can't decide which painting's worse. Because one's pollution, one's a poor panda, and the other is I don't know what that is.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Wait, dude, I can't.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah,
You didn't
I don't have a
mishear me,
mic
did
on the
you?
game.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Bro. What do you think? I'm trying. Dildo!
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I
Oh,
ask you
shut
for
up,
this
narrator.
one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He
I
knows
can't.
what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this
Ouch.
way? Speak. Say something to
Language.
me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Hey.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Hey.
he entered the door on his left.
What?
Stanley?
Hey,
Hello?
Stanley.
Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please.
What?
I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply
Narrator sounds so
step forward,
sad.
please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important
So
than you can ever
sad.
know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
He sounds so sad. Oh. Oh, what the?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
What's
simply
up with
missed
this
a memo.
room? Okay, that's weird. Hello?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? Let's try to break out of the boss's office. I bet there's a way to, like, jam yourself through the door before it closes, right?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
Let's get
decided to go up to his
creative.
boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again...
Oh! I locked him in that room! He's gone! Can I leave? No! Oh. This is haunting. I kinda just broke the game, I think. Notice this, I'm playing Human Fall Flat with my younger brother. Oh, that sounds nice. I broke the game. This door's open. Um oh. You're now leaving. There's no button for the elevator. Wait, we're leaving? Yo, let's get out of here. Wait a minute, this is the Stanley Parable. There's gonna be a lot of stairs. Oh. I should have thought this through. Maybe I should have brought the bucket. At least I'd have some entertainment. What if I brought the bucket? Yeah, what if I did that? I'll have to grab the bucket and do it again. Just how deep are we into this building? Escape pod launch bay. Oh, okay. It's long hallway. Yes, let me out of here. Uh, um, excuse me. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, we're grabbing the
All of his
bucket.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Maybe we can free the
Perhaps his
bucket.
boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase,
The bucket's
Stanley
the
and
one
bucket
thing that
walked
makes all
upstairs to
endings
the boss's
different.
office.
So, I'm assuming that this was a part of the original game.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the...
He got cut off when he realized Stanley wasn't there. He's like, wait, Stanley? Stanley? Huh. Yeah, I was right. Bringing the bucket all the way here would provide some entertainment for myself. Seeing the little handle thing just slightly bounce up and down. Yeah, that's nice. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Da 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 Here we go. Maybe with the bucket we can get out of here. Or do we just free the bucket? No, no. Stanley would want to be with the bucket, right? Wait. Wait, hang on. Hey, Stanley! It's not even in the thing! Oh, he's pushing the thing. Oh. No. We can go with it. We're going with it, right? We're going with it, right? Stanley? No! I can't move! The bucket! That's the most animation I've ever seen from Stanley Parable. Well, the bucket's free, I guess.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
What?
Is this Stanley's office?
What? No! The bucket's gone! The bucket's just gone! Oh, that's depressing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something dark. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, let's do this thing again.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
And then
I'm
just
not your enemy.
go the right way.
I'm not. I realize that investing your
As
trust in
Justin.
someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that?
Okay, I'm just gonna let this play out.
I didn't even know that was possible. Let
Get
me
some
double
coffee.
check.
Enjoy yourselves to be right
It's
there.
definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Sorry, I'm back. Got myself coffee. Okay.
Now that we know your choices are
So you took long enough.
You jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let me in! I did it, narrator. You're happy?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he'd coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, same
Stepping
thing.
inside his manager's office, Stanley was
Same
once again...
thing. Okay, great.
Stanley knew
Now let's
the
have
office
this
layout
guitar
like the
break.
back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take
that's
a
alright,
minute
Noah.
just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah. Wait. Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
What? There once was a ship that went to sea. The name of the ship was not Watermarsh Tea. When is this guitar gonna break? Maybe if I just slam my head into this invisible wall enough times, nothing happened. I want to play Phasmophobia for a stream, but I don't own it currently. I'm kind of waiting for it to go down in a price, reasonable price. It's usually just $20, but oh. Okay, I guess that's it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait a minute.
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
Stanley clung the bucket to
This.
his cheek.
This is
Could
a
his
bucket.
co-workers really all be gone?
I never thought about doing this. Take the bucket with me.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
What?
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The
What?
bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history. of the
What?
countless wars it witnessed, desecrating
You're
the land
fucking
and lives of
lying.
untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's
Oh,
own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
it doesn't have a.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first
What?
ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder.
Whoa!
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Did the bucket just kill us?
My God, Stanley,
What?
you did it! You saved us from the bucket! Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the
Emblems of
incantations
who?
to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today.
I'm sorry.
Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
What? What? What?
Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket.
You're not. I'm crying. We murdered a bucket. I'm crying. I gotta tell Maplejack about that one. I don't think they know about that one. Oh, no! What the? Oh! 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 What did I do? 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 It's just chanting bucket. The bucket's a void! What did I do? What did I do? Oh! This place is surprisingly beautiful, though. Can I go towards one of the pillars? No. I think I am. Intonation. I thought I was playing the Stanley Parable today. What is this? closer. It feels like some sort of watchtower. Oh. What? I must have gone too close. What happened? Hello? Can I unplug the thing with the bucket?
One Stanley
Unplug
clutched
the
the
phone.
bucket tightly to his. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I actually didn't mean to jump off. Oops. I didn't mean to jump off.
No, stop.
The fuck is past this
there
point?
On the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. No.
Now
Dude,
then,
what?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
I don't know the answers.
Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
How was I supposed to know that?
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a
I just saw that annoy
How on
him.
earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely
I'm just trying to annoy you, bro.
Incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Clearly. No, says like, oh, homeschool, hope you have enough time for me to get back. Oh. Might be, yeah. I'm gonna be streaming for probably another hour.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Maybe. I mean, it's totally fine if you can't make it back or anything. I'll be trying to stream tomorrow as well. Not too sure what game to stream
Item
tomorrow, though.
6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. But now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay.
Wait, what? No!
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful
Stanley.
news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything, and we'll
I can.
put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I didn't mean to fall down there.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It's bucket time.
It's a bucket time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Hey.
Now pick up the...
Hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Wait, what?
What is comedic timing?
Oh,
What
creeper.
is comedic timing. How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm Dunny with the funny.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and will very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Well, this went from 0 to 10.
This video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. Oh, guardrails.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
What?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an
No.
egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe
I'm laughing because it's so bad.
This bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make
Stanley's
me
just like
again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
end
meeting
is never the end.
Perhaps
The
he
end
had
is never
simply
the end.
missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
How come all the computers are saying the end is never the end? So, oh my goodness. It's kind of disturbing. Okay. Turn them all off. Turn them all off. Yeah, why not?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, they're all off then.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half
this is the longest we've been in this
guttural
room the whole
retching of
stream.
life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever.
2845. That's the password. Okay.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
No, I'm running out of
Trying
couches,
to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
You're right. I can never know that the password is 2845. What a dumb password 2845 is.
2845.
You're right. There's just no way I could ever know it. I'm purposely trying to annoy this guy. Why not? He's easy to annoy.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
And then I did the password, and then I put it in. We're gonna go up and down. There's dialogue for it. Ow. Cat just jumped off my lap. Claws first. My
Descending deeper
leg!
into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
They're just roasting us.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again?
Stupid.
Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh, dude, you don't have to be that much of a jerk. I'm just trying to annoy you.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
No way is he actually taking this seriously.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
No. Hey! Narrator! He acts like I don't got time.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Master Stanley. That's, interesting.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Me. You guys did nothing, so he's making fun of me. I'm sorry.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense,
boss's
the
office.
agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious.
Let me out of the elevator,
So
man. Let me out.
Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh.
There we go.
No!
Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley,
No!
it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want explosive moments
you know what,
flying
narrator?
right in their
I'll
faces
just be right
from the
back.
very moment that things
I'll
get
just ignore
started.
you.
But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Yo, what's up? I'm back. Oh, what the? What did I
The
miss?
room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. How we did it, the pyramids. Lived the guy live. Oh. The guy who went to Mars. She may be the healthiest human being, but is she the happiest? Live and search, all eyes on Stanley. He's just rubbing the back of his head. And even with World Peace Baby.
Ah, yes, here it is.
Is that a
Just through
Minecraft
this
door opening? A Q&A with world's first sentient machine.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm
hey, Snake.
really proud
Six
of you,
is, if
Stanley.
only I wasn't trying to avoid
Okay, it
spoilers
looks
for
like
this
they're ready
game.
for you.
Oh.
Go get him.
Yeah, understandable. This game is better to play blind. Stanley me dad. What? Up and down again, the Stanley story. Okay, never has taken us too far. Break a leg champ, your boss. Oh, hey, Gamer Cool. Howdy. Hi. This note says, I love the way you ride elevators. Stanley, my true love for you. My love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. You're right from the apartment ending. What? Jack says, no idea what this game is really about, but good luck with whatever this is. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing, man. These eyes. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your coworkers. Break a leg, your boss. Oh. Story. Stanley, me, dad, age 6. I have a kid? What? Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage, hero. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. I just went up and down an elevator. You should not be praising me as much. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. That's the same guy who went to Mars. I think. Snake says, I also bought Slay Person, so now I'm gonna play that when I have time. Ooh, okay. Let me know what you think of it. Very terrifying. Future keynote speaker, the Lord, meet and greet. What? Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. But Alexander the Great's dead. What? Good grief. What is happening? Down and up again. What is this? Discord light mode! My eyes. Is that it?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Bro, what?
What could it mean? Stanley
Well, you know what that
decided to go to the
means.
meeting room. It's
Bucket.
bucket time.
It's bucket time. We're gonna do it again, but with the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes,
Up and
this is certainly the
down,
most
up
logical
and down,
explanation.
again and again. Up and down, up and down. Breakdancing. Ooh, ooh, get him, get him.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Ooh, back of the bows.
Comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I don't care. Going back up.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
bucket said nothing.
3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over. Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Yeah.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Of course the bucket said nothing. It's a bucket.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
It's a bucket.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be? Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Okay. 3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
3 again. It's the Stanley story. Right.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak. to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Wow. That's,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
interesting.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know what, I'm feeling kind of tired. I think I should probably call it. Yeah. Thank you to the one person that stuck around all the way to the end. I very much appreciate you. Thank you to, well, Snake, who also joined the stream for a little brief moment. I hope you have a good one, and thank you for joining. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.